like watching movies while on drugs. That's my thing. So I like watching hard to watch movies, and I like watching hard to watch movies while on drugs. So I watched The Babadook. This is the second time I've seen this film, but I watched this on mushrooms. And well, first of all, I just want to say this was very hard to watch. Very, very difficult to watch. There were many times where I was like, now the movie itself, it's a great movie. The scares in this movie are really good. But the thing that I was getting stuck on was, so the Babadook, right? It's a single mother of a child, who is, you know, a little freaky, right? Like he doesn't get along with others. And so like the first half of the movie is like about the kid being a little crazy. And the second half of the movie is about the mother being crazy. Now, I just want to say, my interpretation of this film is that the Babadook does not exist. That this is not a supernatural film. That it's just a movie about a single mother going crazy and abusing their kid. And so, as somebody that was raised by a single mother that was pretty abusive and crazy, watching this movie while on shrooms was very difficult for me because like the way that they have that toxic relationship was really well done, where it's like, especially the scene where it's like she's like threatening to kill the kid one minute and then like gets the kid ice cream the next minute. Man, that shit happened to me, right? Like, so it was really hard to watch. So anyway, so the mother like goes crazy essentially. She doesn't sleep for weeks. That's a core plot line, is that she's not getting enough sleep. And she's like haunted by the storybook that she read about the Babadook. And of course, as soon as she reads it, it's like a cognito hazard. Then the Babadook starts to appear. We all know that when you have sleep deprivation, you can start hallucinating things, right? So there's many scenes in this film where, she's trying to sleep and she gets woken up by the kid. And so she starts to resent the kid, right? And then like she's awake for such a long period of time that like, she starts to hallucinate. And so my theory on this movie is that there is no Babadook. It is not a supernatural horror film. The Babadook is just a metaphor for her unraveling mentally. And so, of course, the worst scene in this movie is when she fucking strangles and kills the doggy. I lost it. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, right, I lost it. But anyway, I mean, this movie is great. I just want to say, as far as a horror movie is concerned, it's great. This is a great movie. Like, this is, I don't know, like, if I were to construct, like, a top horror movie of all time kind of list, Babadook is on that list. This is a great fucking movie. Now, again, I've seen this movie before. I watched it around the time it came out. But this is a movie that really benefits from a second watch. My interpretation is that there is no Babadook. And if that's the interpretation and you look for all the giveaways of that, like seeing the Babadook at the police station, right? Like, there's no reason for the Babadook to be at the police station. She's just sleep deprived and hallucinating, right? Like, again, like this car crash scene where she crashes the car with the kid in it and the kid's like, oh, the Babadook made you do it, right? That scene, if you're sleep deprived and you're driving, all of a sudden, right, you wake up and you crash the car, right? So, right, these are all scenes that are very explainable without a supernatural tilt to it. It's just a great movie. I can't recommend it enough. Like, as far as portraying like a toxic single mother child relationship, having experience with that dynamic, it does a really good job of like, a crazy fucking parent just going completely psycho on the kid for no reason other than their own mental problems, and then like realizing, oh shit, that's a bad deal, and then like trying to apologize in like the worst way possible, and it's just like a cycle. It happens over and over and over and over and over again. And like the other thing about this movie that I love is that the first half of the movie the kid is like seen as like the crazy kid who's disobedient and doesn't listen to people, and but then like the second half of the movie, the kid is just like a really good kid, listens to everything, other than like when the parent is being evil, um, right, and it's just super nice. The kid like tries to save the mother from the Babadook, and right, like, and like I love that dynamic because like the way I see it is like this movie could be viewed as like an unreliable narrator perspective from the mother. That's my view of this film, is that everything we're seeing on screen isn't necessarily reality. It's not necessarily like what we're seeing on screen isn't necessarily the real events of the movie, but it's how the mother interprets them, right? So when the kid is screaming in the car and right, is he, maybe he's having a tantrum, that's possible, right? But is it really that loud? Is it really that annoying? Right? It's the mother's perception of the kid. That's my take on this movie. Anyway, I thought this movie was phenomenal. Again, I've seen it 2 times now, but it was difficult to watch. I had to pause the movie a couple times just to get my bearings straight. It was difficult to watch this movie while on shrooms just because of my own personal traumas. But anyway, The Babadook. I mean, it's an all-time great. I gotta tell you, it's an all-time great. I love this movie. I would recommend it to anybody. So, there you go.